Where would you be if you followed through? If on everything that you said you were going to do, if you actually did it. For every time you made a promise, or every decision you made around a business, around work, around health, around fitness, nutrition, any of those things. Where would you be if it wasn't just talk and you actually backed it up with action? Where would you be in life? How far would you have taken this life? How much further along the road would you be? Would you have achieved the goals that you've set? Would you have reached the point of everything that you're chasing? Would you be even further along? Who is the man that you would be if you'd actually just kept your word? You want to know why you have no confidence? You want to know why you can't follow through? You want to know why you feel like shit about yourself? That you got no self-respect? That you feel like you're failing? It's because you're a motherfucking liar. That's why. It's because you keep lying to yourself. You keep making false promises and then not delivering on them. That is why. Imagine if someone came to you and every day they were like, oh, I promise I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this work. It's going to be fantastic. And then they don't do it. And the next day they're like, no, it's fine. I'm going to do it. I promise I'm going to do it. And they don't. Third day, you're already pretty fucking skeptical. No, mate, I promise you, cross my heart, hope to die on my mother's grave, I'm gonna do the work. And they don't. What would you say about that man? What would you think about him? Would you trust him? Would you do business with him? Would you give him important tasks in life? Or would you go, nah, that man's full of fucking shit. Everything he says is bullshit. You wouldn't place any trust in him. You wouldn't give him any responsibility. You wouldn't have confidence that he could deliver anything that you needed. So, if you wouldn't place an iota of trust in that man, why would you think that you are any different? Because you know even better than trusting that guy everything that you say that's a lie. Everything that you promise that you know you're not going to follow through on. You know all the things that you say you're going to do. Trust me, I'm going to do it. And you don't. And every time you don't follow through on what you said you were going to do, you break the trust. And the trust of your own word, the trust of your ability to do the work. There is actually nothing more sacred in this world than that trust between you and you. So you got no one else to fucking blame either. You've got no one else that you can blame for breaking that trust. Because it's just you and you. And yet this is where you're lacking. Because you can't trust your own word. You can't trust yourself to do the work, to do what is required. And I say this having been that man, having been that guy, and I'm nearly at a fucking year, and I'm still building that trust. I'm still building it up. And it hurts me to share it, but it's the truth. That one of the moments that made me realize how fucking flimsy my word was because of my wife. So my wife asked me to do it and I was like, yep, no problem, I will get on that. And because I didn't get up right that second and start doing it, my wife just turned to me and she was like, don't worry about it, I'll do it because you won't. And it seems cold, but it was factual. She was fucking right. Like, and she had all the proof in the world, and I'd be like, yeah, got this. No problem. And that was bullshit. It was absolute bullshit. I didn't have it. I had the intention of doing it. And I think often that time it's worse. When you have the right intention. I had all the intention in the world to do it. But, as I say, actions speak louder than words. All the intentions in the world don't mean shit if you don't actually do the work. You can have the nicest thoughts and the greatest ideas of what you can do, but without action, it doesn't fucking mean anything. So you have to start building this credibility. You have to start building trust within yourself. And it's going to start with you. And it's going to take a lot longer than you think it should. It's like all this stuff. It's going to take way fucking longer than you think it should to build back the trust, especially with others. It's going to take long enough to build it back for you. As I said, you already know you're a fucking liar. You know there's a good chance from the moment you said it that it was false. Even with the intention of, you want to help out and do stuff. There is this big gap between your words and your actions. And that's why you feel like a fraud. That's why you have no confidence. That's why nothing is working out for you. Because you can't follow through on what you said you would do. Because, well, to put it harshly, you're a fucking liar. And until you can stop lying to yourself, to your family, to your friends, to those you work with, nothing is going to get better. But it starts with you. It starts with just keeping your word to yourself. And it's this weird paradox one I find, especially with this, that it takes one decision. One firm, concrete, I'm actually dead ass serious decision. And then followed up by a million micro decisions. But you need to make a decision that if you say it, it is getting done. End of fucking story. And that also means that you might have to have some hard conversations with yourself, with others, with things around that, of if you don't think or plan on actually doing it, don't say you will. I can fucking guarantee you, the first couple of times that someone asks you to do something and you know that the answer isn't gonna, you're not actually gonna follow through and do it, it'll be awkward as shit. But it actually makes you more powerful. It also gives your word way more meaning, way more clarity. Because it means that you aren't just saying yes to appease people. It means you aren't just saying yes because, well, that's an easier thing to do. It means if you say yes, you know that it means that it'll actually get done. If you say yes, I will do that thing. I will help out, or I will, get something, or whatever the fuck it is. I will complete the work. People know that you're serious because you're not just a yes man. You say no to shit. And oftentimes, the saying no is just as important as saying yes. Because it makes that yes more powerful. It makes that yes feel like a much more important follow through. It makes the yes seem real. And as I said though, it will take time. And more time than you think it should to rebuild the trust. Because, well, how long have you been a fucking liar? This is the big question that needs to be asked. How long have you been a motherfucking liar? Because I don't think it's just the last week or a month or 12 months or 2 years, 5 years, potentially longer, potentially a lifetime of not keeping your word. So you have a lifetime to fucking catch up on. And if you say something, it needs to be gospel. There is zero chance that that isn't getting done. As I said, it starts with you. It starts with picking things that are difficult and keeping your fucking word. And if you say you're going to work out, you fucking work out. If you say you're not going to eat junk food anymore, you don't eat junk food. If you say you're giving up drinking, you give up drinking. Whatever the fuck it is, once it's said, it is done. And you need to learn the skill and the habit and the discipline of keeping your word. And doing this and following through and actually being a man of your word will change your entire life. As I said at the start, who would you be? Where would your life be if you'd followed through on everything you said you were going to do? How much further down the line would you be? And I want you to not just kind of hypothesize and be like, oh, I'd be a bit healthier, a bit wealthier, a bit happier, whatever the fuck it is. I want you to actually go through and see if you can work it out. See if you could have a good, solid estimate of where you would be. Because I can guarantee it will fucking hurt. I can guarantee that it will upset you. It'll potentially shatter you. I know it fucking hurt me way more than it had any right to be. And I looked at, nearly a lifetime of broken promises, of confidence and bravado of, yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, I'm going to achieve this. Yeah, I'm going to be this guy. And just a lifetime of not living up to that. And as I said, it fucking hurt. It shattered me. Like, when I actually sat in it and I was like, fuck. And the point in my life that I've reached in this last year, I probably should have reached 10 years ago. And even then, I know for a fact I'm still playing small. I still haven't even fully tapped into my potential. I haven't really stepped full force into who I should be. And yet I'm so much further along the line than I used to be. So who the fuck would you be if you actually followed through? If you actually did everything? Because for me, the answer is so vast, so fucking unfathomable, and so much greater impact, not just for me, but for my wife, for my children, for you, for all those that I serve. And I can't live in regret. Regret serves no purpose. But I can use it as fuel to be like, well, shit. It's time to actually fully step the fuck up. And I firmly believe that there are always more levels to reach. That it doesn't matter where you're at. There is more that you could reach. There is more that you could achieve. And maybe you'd have to change arena. Maybe you'd have to change what you're doing or where you're competing. But there is always more levels to go. There is always more that you could do, be, and achieve. So it doesn't matter how much you follow through, how much you change your life, because new things will open up, new opportunities, new ideas, new thought processes, new everything. And I've said it a few times, when I started 126 to Greatness, the only thing I focused on was my core 5. Weighted walk, weighted workout, animal-based diet, 4 liters of water, daily photo. Every single fucking day. Every single fucking day. That's all I focused on for the first 126 days. Because I just needed to prove that I could do that. Now we're in phase 3. We're nearly finished phase 3 and we're progressing into phase 4. And I have no idea what phase 4 looks like yet. Because I need to reevaluate. I need to reassess. I need to look at how far I've come and go, well, where do I want to take this now? Where do I want to end up? But as I said, I look back at how far I could have already gone if I'd lived this way for years. And I said, there's no point in regretting not doing it, but what I can do is I can utilize it as fuel. What I can do is channel this into the next phase. And I can use it to remind myself not to fall into that trap. To not fall into, well, being a bitch. Being a fucking liar. Failing my wife, my children, my family, my friends, you. I can use that as a constant reminder to not be that guy. To never let that horrendous version of me come back. To be the best I can be. You know? And that, I think, is the value that you take from it. There are lessons and values to be taken from everything, good, bad, and ugly. The question is, do you learn from it? Do you grow from it? Do you overcome it? Can't change the past, but I can change the future. It's one that I always laugh at. They talk about, if you went back in time, crushing the smallest insect, or killing a fly, or whatever it is, the butterfly effect could change the whole human history. So if one little insignificant moment like that could change everything, well, why couldn't one major shift in your life right here, right now, change the future for you? You can't go back and change the past, but you can damn well change the future that you have coming towards you right now. By making better decisions, by making better choices, by following through and making big, clear decisions on this. Yeah, you can change your future. You can change your future for the better. You just have to make that decision. And so we went into the past and we examined what your life could be if you'd actually followed through, and how much you've missed out on, and how much you've let those around you down by not being that version. Let's now flip that script. What if we went forward a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and we let all of that compound onto each other? If you, every single day, in every moment, kept your word for the next 10 years, where could your life be? Even if you don't want to take it that far. For the next 126 days, where could your life be? Who could you be? How much further ahead could you be if you followed through on all the things that you said you would do? What kind of life would you have? And it's like all these things we talk about. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose from this. So if you look back and you decide that it didn't improve my life that much, I call fucking bullshit. I call that's impossible. I call that you haven't actually done the work. But nonetheless, let's say you get 126 days into this and you're like, my life hasn't drastically improved. What have you lost, really? Like, overall, what have you lost? It's very easy for you to go back to the start. It's very easy for you to revert back to being a fucking liar and not keeping your word. It's very easy to go back and just quit doing things that are going to push you forward, that are going to improve your life, that are going to make you the best version of yourself. It's very easy to go backwards. But I don't think that's where you're going to get to. I do firmly believe that you'll get to the other side of this and go, fuck, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I improve every fucking aspect of my life by just following through? So, are you ready for that? Are you ready to actually be a man of your word? To actually follow through? To actually do not just what's required, but what you said you would do. To actually be a man of your word and to understand what that truly, truly means. Because if you are, let's shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's start that journey. Because I can promise you, it'll change every aspect of your life. Now, as always, if you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if you know someone else who needs to hear this, if you're inspired by it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But as always, most importantly, please hit the subscribe button. The majority of people who are watching this are not subscribed to these. And like everything in Chasing Greatness Daily, I am here every single day. I do not fucking miss. And I am sharing the wisdom from the front, from my experiences, from my guys' experiences, trying to help you avoid the mistakes that I've made along the way. So hit that subscribe button because I'll be back again tomorrow. And I hope to see you then. Until then.